Thank you so much for your time. I'm honored to have your attention. Now, I've been producing and directing and creating quality videos for over 20 years. I've seen it all. I know what works, I know what's possible, and I know what it takes to deliver a compelling video message. So, get ready to up your game. This is Make Great Videos, Sell More Cars, a smartphone video workshop. In this life-changing workshop, you'll learn about the proper gear, script writing, on-camera delivery of that script, shooting, and editing. Now, I love this quote from Gary Vee. Brand storytelling is not about pushing advertising, it's about bringing value. So what's the value in a walk-around video for your client? Beyond what you hope it is, and that is, of course, the fact that you have the car and it has all the features they want. The value here is you're not wasting their time with a poor-sounding, poorly shot video that has no direction. The value is not wasting their time. Quick note about me. I'm a producer, director, shooter, editor, actor, speaker, musician, just to name a few things. I believe the first job I ever knew existed was that of a car salesman. My dad. At 71, he still sells cars and is always the top salesman. I'm really proud of him. My mother also sold cars during the 90s and 2000s. A woman in the automotive industry back then was not an easy thing. And the stories they brought home to me were from the dealership. I have a strong kinship with the automotive industry, so I'm really glad to be here, glad to be talking to you. I remember I had a friend in high school tell me, you'll sell cars one day, knowing that my entire family was in the business. I said, nah, I don't think I'll be selling cars, but I might be making movies about them. So here I am teaching you how to make great looking videos. Are you looking off into space asking the big question, how do I make a quality video? I know you're being asked to make videos for your clients. Most sales teams are. If you're being asked to make walk-around videos, why not make them great? Why not make them memorable, notable, shareable? You know what? You can, and I'm here to show you. Follow me. You're gonna need a few things, like the proper gear. My grandfather had a quote, and that was, always use the right tool for the job. First thing you're going to need is the latest-ish smartphone, right? Doesn't have to be the one that came out last week, but at least the one that came out last year, okay? I use an iPhone. Of course, the choice is yours, but the bottom line is it's gotta be a really good camera. Next, a gimbal. This makes your shots smooth and pretty. Now, it's not 100% necessary, so don't feel you need to run out and buy a gimbal right now. But when you do, I use the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. It's a solid product and it is a great name in video production gear. Okay, next, an editing app. I highly recommend and will be teaching the Adobe Premiere Rush. Download it now, use the free trial, fall in love, and commit. Welcome back. This next session is about the script. Now don't let it stress you. I'm going to walk you through it. But the reason we need a script is so that your message has a clear path to take. Remember, the value here is not wasting their time. This is a good time to mention what the job of good content is. The job of worthwhile content is to inform and delight. Now, what does that mean? That means your message has to be clear, informative, and entertaining. By the way, I have fill-in-the-blank scripts if you don't feel like you want to write a script. More on that later. Okay, so one of the first things you want to do is find inspiration. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. What does that mean? That means you want to watch a bunch of commercials and see what they say and how they say it. Let me help you out. Great art is borrowed and there's nothing new under the sun, so be inspired. Don't plagiarize, but be inspired. Also, you want to tell a story. Humans would not have been this far along without stories. Storytelling is the greatest tool ever devised. So, tell a story. Tell a story about driving that car home today. Also, if you're making this for a specific person, which most of you will be, you want to use their name. There's no sweeter sound to a person than their own name. So when you're writing a story, you're going to want to create a theme. I like to start with the 6 emotional human needs as defined by this guy, Tony Robbins. You ever heard of him? Listen, if you don't know what the 6 human needs are, I'd say look it up because it's, life-changing. So look up the 6 human needs and you can start developing stories based on the human needs. But here they are on the quick. Certainty, variety, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. So let's dig a little deeper. Certainty. It goes like this. People want to be certain that they can have pleasure and avoid pain. So you can tell a story about somebody having a great deal of pleasure buying that new vehicle and avoiding pain by keeping the old one. Variety. Now, we've all heard the term variety is the spice of life. It's a real thing. You want to tell a story about how this new vehicle can bring them a great deal of excitement, tell a story of a road trip, new roads, new opportunities. Variety, the spice of life. Significance. Now we all have a need to feel significant, to stand out in some special way. A new vehicle fits nicely in that category. So tell a story about having a great deal of significance, if to no one else but to themselves, from buying that new vehicle. Connection. Now, connection is a very strong personal need of mine. I love people, and you know what? I love my Jeep. So tell a story about connecting with your family and friends and connecting to the lifestyle of a certain vehicle. Growth. If you're green, you're growing. If you're ripe, you rot. That means you have to keep learning, keep growing. You could tell a story of someone leveling up in their career, and when they do, you know what? They deserve that new ride. Growth. Contribution. We feel a great deal of joy when we contribute beyond ourselves. Tell a story of contributing to the soccer team, to the church, to the football team when they have this new vehicle. Contribution is a very powerful need. You still with me? That's great. Okay, our next subject is the delivery. It's not only what you say, it's how you say it. The first thing I do is get grateful for the opportunity to communicate my message. I show that gratitude with my eyes. I keep my focus on the lens, and I'm not looking everywhere else while I'm speaking to the camera. In other words, don't dart your eyes around. Next, you'll want to mark up your script using slashes and underlines. The slashes indicate where to pause, and the underlines indicate what words to punch. Slashes, pause, underline, punch. Also, if you have a list like this example, with each word in the list, you'll want to emphasize just a little more than the last. If you deepen your voice a little bit, we tend to be trusted a little more. It's scientific. Look it up. And also, you want to practice a script 2 or 3 times before you actually deliver it. Having a little more familiarity with it will definitely help you. Trust me. Okay, here's an example. Hey, Andrew, I'm so glad you reached out. I understand you're looking for the 2019 Ford F-150. That's perfect because I have just the one for you only at Truck City Ford. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. This F-150 comes with a 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 engine. And inside, you'll feel super important with the 8-inch productivity screen and voice-activated navigation. Can you imagine the significance of driving home in the F-150 today? If those features haven't influenced you yet, then maybe these safety features will. Consider the advanced track with roll stability control, blind spot info system with trailer coverage, lane keeping system, adaptive cruise control, and pre-collision assist. So, Andrew, don't let this moment pass you by. Stop in today and visit me, Dave Hudson, only at Truck City Ford. Now, this next section will teach you how to film it. This is about the production. First, film the opening. Place the vehicle on an angle pointing toward you. Take a downish angle on yourself. Film the opening, then stop. From this spot, film the closing. This makes your production faster and is a nice bookend for your video. Film the closing, smile for a few seconds, then press stop. 3, film the body. Film the body of the script. Film each feature or option separately. If you have 4, you'll film 4 clips. Each shot should move slightly, and you should speak about the option while you're recording. This makes your edit simple, so you have the shot of the feature and you have your voice all at the same time. Now watch this video and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I know you are looking to make a really great walk-around video, and I'm going to show you how. It's simple. Check this out. The first thing we do is we'll film our opening, all right? What I want to do is have that Jeep on an angle pointing toward me, and I want to take a slightly upward angle on myself. Never want to shoot below because we don't look good that way. We look much better this way, trust me. So what I do is I get myself set, right? I immediately get a little smile going and I'll press record, all right? And so here I am, I have my salutation, talking about the Jeep and I'm talking about who I am, and then I will press stop. Bam, I'll cut. The next thing I know that I need is a closing. I'll do my closing
from right here. So here I am, same spot, same angle. I will press record. And here's my closing. I've got my closing, talking about my closing, talking about the Jeep, and I got to smile at the end and let that last for a second, and then press stop. Okay, so now that we've filmed our opening or closing, we want to talk about the options. Let's say we have 4 options we want to talk about, and the first option, maybe not even an option, but a little bit about the vehicle, is a 3.5 liter V6 engine this Jeep has. So what I'll do is I'll get a shot, I'll press record while I'm talking about the 3.5 liter V6 engine. So I press record, I'll back up talking about the engine, revealing the Jeep, bam, right? Slight movement, and then I'll press stop. Then we'll do our second option, our second shot, okay? A nice moving shot. Let's say we're talking about the tires on this particular vehicle, the Rubicon tires. So here's what I would do. Again, I get a full shot of the Jeep, I press record, and I'll move into the tire as I'm talking about this really great tire. And you see I went lower. I'll start from high, that's always a nice dynamic shot. And we're talking about these Rubicon tires, and there they are. Really great dynamic shot, nice and moving. And then I'll press stop. 2 more options. Let's say I want to talk about the inside of the vehicle and the leather seats. I'll go in the vehicle and another slight movement, always slight movement. I press record and I'm talking about these leather heated seats. Maybe I'll do it twice, talking a little bit about these leather heated seats and the black interior, what a beautiful ride. And then I'll press stop. If I'm talking about an SUV or a crossover, talk about the cargo space. And this particular Jeep also has this really great sound system. So again, a nice slight movement. I'll start from inside and reveal out, okay? I'll get myself set. I'll get a nice shot in there. And then I'll start talking about it. Talking about how this Jeep has, the Jeep Wrangler has the great cargo space. And then I'll move in and talk about that subwoofer. Maybe I want to do it one more time, no problem. I get myself set. I back it up, talking about the cargo space. And now I start talking about the sound system, and then I'll press stop, okay? So as you see, just a few shots. 2 shots in the front, 3 or 4 shots around the vehicle, and you got it. And I'll show you how to edit those together properly. Thanks, great work.
Okay, we are moving right along. Now, the next major step in a great video is the edit. And I'm gonna teach you in 7 easy steps. If you still haven't downloaded the app Adobe Premiere Rush, please do it now. Also, at the end of this section, there will be another video that shows you exactly how to do these edits. For now, I'm gonna break it down. First, you'll wanna open the app. Next, you'll want to create a project and import your clips in the order of the edit. Third, you want to trim each clip at the beginning and at the end. Make it as tight as possible, taking out all the fat and only having what you want. After you trim each clip, add a transition between them. This adds a nice production value to the video. It becomes a more dynamic piece. Now, you want to add some music. This brings your video to life. Adds another layer of value to your video. Now, if you're gonna post this, you can't just use anybody's music. If you're sending it to somebody directly, maybe stalk their Facebook and find out exactly what bands they like and use some of their music. If you are gonna post a video, you can go to some websites like pond5.com and get some inexpensive music to use. Or you can go to YouTube Create and you can download free music there. It's a great resource. Okay, next, you wanna add some titles. This adds yet another layer of value. And this also helps drive the point home. The types of titles you'll want will be your name and contact information, and you'll also want titles that point out the features that you're speaking of. Lastly, you want to export and share. Now, watch this video and it will show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, thanks for sticking around. Now I'm going to show you how to edit using Adobe Premiere Rush with your smartphone. I'm using an iPhone. You can use any other types of phones, of course, but make sure, again, that it is one of the latest smartphones just because they're better. What do you want from me? All right, so here we go. We're going to open Adobe Premiere Rush. We are going to press the little plus button down at the bottom, plus, add media. From our camera roll. We find in our camera roll where our media is. And then I'm going to select it in the order I want it to be edited. There's my opening. That was my closing. I don't want that yet. So then I go to the next clip, the engine, the tires, the leather seats, the interior, and then my closing. That's the order. I say create. Now they're all uploaded and in my timeline. Check this out. I can extend my timeline by doing this, you see, pretty simple, and scroll back and forth like this with my thumb, right? Down here below, what you see right here, this is my main toolbox. All right, here's how we trim a clip. We'll listen to it first.
And so here I am, I have my salutation, talking about the Jeep and I'm talking about who I am, and then I will press stop.
Okay, great, stop. I go down here to my toolbox, I hit the scissors key, and look at it, I'm gonna extend this so I can see, get deep in there. That wants to be deleted, I'll delete that. This is my engine shot. Now I bring the screen down, my engine shot, I know I wanna start it just before the movement. There it starts to move, I press the scissors, select the clip, delete it. Next one, this is about the tires. I like the second shot, I go to the second shot, there it is, that's where it begins. I press scissors, select what I don't want, delete. Interior, I remember I like the second leather seat shot, so I go right to it. I scroll back and forth, I go to it, there it is. Select the scissors, select the clip, delete. Once again, I remember I did 2 shots. I like the second shot better. I go right to the beginning of it. I press the scissors, select the clip I don't want, delete. Here we go. Now here's my closing. I know I want to cut a little bit at the beginning. Let's listen.
Record, and here's my closing.
Okay, record, and here's my, right there, right where I'm about to talk, okay? I do the scissors, select what I don't want, delete, and then, let's see what we say at the end.
And let that last for a second, and then press.
Okay, so I'll cut that out, check it out.
Let that last for a second.
Smile, and done. Okay, a little bit before, one more time.
Last for a second. And then
okay, and then look, right before I start talking again, there, right there, I press the scissors, I delete. There we go. Check it out. That is our rough cut. Next thing. Next thing we can do, very simply, we go right, we put the transition point right between the blue line, and I am going to add an actual transition. See down here at my main toolbox, I scroll the transition, I hit it. I want a dip to white. I like that, it does that. Next transition, dip to white. Next transition, dip to white. Next one, dip to white, next, dip to white, okay. Did it work? Sometimes it'll take, yep. Okay, now here, I want to fade to black. So what I want to do, hit dip to black. Does it go? Yep, dip to black. Very good. Now look at that. We have a very rough cut. That is doable. This will work. Next thing you can do, however, is you Next thing you can do, however, is you can add some music. How do I do that? I want to press this plus button down here, add media. There it is, add media. What kind of media? Audio. Bam. Now we can choose from one of my playlists. I'm gonna go here to Adobe Rush. I'm gonna select this one called Garage. I'm gonna add it. There it happens. You see the blue indicator line? That's where it starts that clip. I don't want it there. I don't want it there, so I will touch it. You'll see it kind of pop up, and I drag it right to the beginning. I know it's gonna be kind of loud, so I'm gonna go over here, down to my main toolbox. I hit audio. I go down to the end where it says 50 clip volume. I'm gonna press that. Here's a volume toggle, right? I'm gonna bring that down to about 25. That ought to do. And to go to the beginning. And so here I am, I have my salutation, talking about the Jeep and I'm talking about who I am, and then I will press stop. Great, now check it out. I want the music to fade. I go back down to my toolbox, press the arrow so I open it up again to the main toolbox. I will press the scissors button. I will delete it back there. I'm gonna select the audio. I want a transition on that audio. I want it to fade out. Transition, cross dissolve, it added. For a second. Hear that kind of faded out really quick? Next thing I can do is I'm going to get out of the audio menu, press the arrow. I'm going to go over and I want to add some titles down at my main toolbox. There's a clip called titles. I am going to drag where I want the title to begin. I hit title. I have to choose a title now. This is my opening title. There's plenty to choose from, and this is my like a little lower third titling. Look I'm gonna make this clip bigger, bigger, bigger so I can see exactly where it is. I want it to be at the very beginning. I drag it down. You see, I hold it, it pops, it drags down. I am going to now change the name. I'm gonna double click, I'm gonna click over the title, and I'm gonna delete what I have up there. Sometimes it's kind of tough. Here we go. Delete, 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 and I'm gonna add my name, David Hudson. Go down to the subtitle, and I'm going to select it, delete it, sales professional, and done, right? And that's how you add titles. Check this out. And so here I am. I don't like where it's. I don't really like where it's placed. I am going to touch the screen. You see the blue line that goes around? Great. Now you see the dots? Great. That's how I know I can select it and move it around. You see that there? And put it right down to that spot. Look at this. And so here I am, I have my salutation, I want it to last a little longer. I select it. I am going to make it longer. See, I just kind of move it down the timeline. That's long enough. And so here I am, I have my salutation, talking about the Jeep and I'm talking about who I am. And I will press stop. Back up, talking about the engine, revealing the Jeep, bam. Right? Slight movement. And then I'll press stop. 17-inch Rubicon tires, and there they are. Really great dynamic shot, nice and moving. Talking a little bit about these leather heated seats and the black interior, what a beautiful ride. Back it up, talking about the cargo space. And now I start talking about the sound system. And then it's my closing. I've got my closing, talking about my closing, talking about the Jeep, and I got to smile at the end and let that last for a second. Now there you go. There's a very quick tutorial on how to edit using Adobe Premiere Rush. Thanks so much. Listen, you can do this. Good luck. You have done so great. I'm really proud of you. If you need some more instruction, watch those videos again. I think that's really gonna help you out. Go over this lesson plan just a few times and really understand it. After you do it 2 or 3 times, trust me, you're gonna be getting this like a pro. If you need some one-on-one coaching, however, Or if you want to create a group workshop, I am available. Give me a call and let's book it. Now remember, if you don't want to write scripts, I have scripts you can download, and all you need to do is fill in the blank. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Dave Hudson. This is Make Great Videos, Sell More Cars, a smartphone video workshop. I am honored. If you need me, hey, call me. Take care. Be well.